Hello folks, I think we're going to start off with day 9, 8 days through, this is the 9th day, and we've been doing good amount of progress on this on chess over the last 9 days, and I'm going to change up the format today a little bit. Today I'm going to be playing a tournament. I'm going to just directly go and do some random puzzles to start off with, and I think this is check here. Is that what it is? Let's try check. King goes in here. Check. Check. King goes in here. Check. Queen comes in. I think that's not working. Looks like check. King goes in here. Check. Queen comes back. I'm not clear on this continuation. Queen takes, rook takes. I can get, but it's not still a completely winning position. The first move is obvious. The king goes there. Why don't I play this? If I play this, there is no check, so queen can simply grab this pawn here. I have a discovered check, winning the queen, simply winning the queen. So I think this is the way to go. No, check, check. Now this is where I was stuck. I actually went to this line. Oh, no, check, and then I simply grab this rook. Okay. Alright folks, so we've messed up the first one, but it was a pretty good try. Okay, we have this check here. King cannot go back. Knight comes in. I think it's this check here. Alright folks, let's think about it. This check, the knight comes back, I don't have a continuation here, and that's just a simple mate in one. So the way it's going to work is I give this check, he then do the pawn push, knight middle, multiple things are possible. Check, knight comes here. Queen takes, pawn takes, and the rook delivers the mate. Okay, great folks, I found it. No. No, I'm not clear folks, what do we do? Okay folks, I think I'm a little bit out of touch, looks like, and we've done 2 back-to-back blunders. Here I have this move right here. Yes, this check. I move the king. No, that doesn't seem to be working. Play this, he has this check. Yes, I played this rook, this check, king comes here. Yes folks, I think that's working. Knight takes, king takes, and we still lose the queen. I think that's the one. Yeah. Why not this? Because of this. Okay, so this is how it works, and then I simply take this, and finally we get one right. Let's continue. Here we have this check. The bishop takes, check, the bishop takes, we have this check. Why not this check? How does he stop the mate? So I think this is the check. Oh no, yeah, no, knight takes, but then I have this mate. Okay, great folks, I think we found it. Sorry, this check, then this check and some mate. Okay folks, I think I've been struggling a bit today and getting the right sequences. I think this one is like a simple mating sequence here. Queen here, then the king escapes, so I move the king, threatening this pawn push. Here's a pawn push. Check. check. Alright folks, I think I'm a bit struggling today in this position. Let's look at my options. Checks, captures and threats. I'm going to start off with check number 1, check number 2. 2 possible safe checks in this position, and let's say I do this, he goes here. I do this, he goes here. I can simply go back as well. Check. What if I start off with this, threatening this? He's going to play this here. Right, so if you place this here or even here, the rook comes there. Alright folks, I think I'm having a pretty tough day trying to figure this out, what's exactly happening. So let's see, queen here, and queen here. These are my ideas. So first check, king comes here, rook here. Alright, I have this check possible. So let's say I play it here. King goes from behind, rook coming here. I think I'm going to take a hint on this one. I was right. Then I have this check. No, I have this check. I have the pawn push. Take it. Okay, great folks. So I think I just took a hint because I seem to be having a tough time getting the right sequence. Here I have the opposition, so it makes sense for me to calculate pawn push, and then he'll have the opposition. Direct pawn takes, he takes, and he has the opposition. I get him not to give him a move, so this would be the right move. Now I have this simple maneuvering, and then I'm simply winning the pawn, and hence the match. Alright, so the advantage that I have here is I should not allow him to come here, first of all. Second of all, I want to occupy this square here. What will happen when I play this here? He's going to play it there, then I'll push the pawn, he'll come here, I'll push the pawn further. So he'll not leave this, that's the problem. Right, so how do I do this? I come here, he goes back, and then I go away, and this will act as a decoy. So I think that's what is working. No? Alright folks, I think I messed this up again. 5 wrong and 1 correct. This is how we have a check, but I don't really have a mate. Here I have this check, and then I'm basically protecting, but he has this. Okay, I think I have a simple mating sequence here. Yeah, great folks. So 5 wrong, 1 correct. Now let's see if I can improve on that. Evaluation, I have this check. Here this check, I don't see a great sequence. I have this check, knight takes, and then queen here mate. Seems to be a logical way to go, because if he comes here, then I have a discovered check. I think it's this way. If the king comes here, if let's say the knight takes, oh yeah, simple, he has a simple knight takes, but then I have alright, let's look at this a little bit more closely. I have this check, I have this check. Alright folks, this is not looking easy. Okay, I have this pawn, this square is nicely controlled multiple times, so I think it's wrong answer. Queen coming here, king goes there. Alright folks, so let me continue. I'm a bit struggling again today. It doesn't seem to be a very good day in terms of the moves. And let's see. Alright, let's continue. Alright folks, come on, let's I think we can do it. Let's come on, think a little bit better. And this check, king comes here. Alright. Okay. Rook takes knight. Threatening mate, queen takes. Queen cannot take. Queen takes. No, not possible. And rook here. The king simply comes back. I think that's the way to go. King simply comes up a step, and this square is controlled as such. So let's see. I think it's just simply get the king in. Alright folks, great. So we are getting 5 wrong and 3 right. Let's see if I can get 2 more right, and then I think it's a pretty good game. 5 right, 3 wrong. I'm going to do 10 puzzles. It's been almost 10 minutes since I'm doing this. I have this option. This knight is controlling this square. Knight is controlling this square. Knight takes, queen takes. Do we have any intermediate moves here which will improve? Okay, great. So I have this pawn push, and then I have this check, and I have this check. So pawn push, pawn takes. I have this check here. King has to go there, or king takes. I have this takes. I have this. Let's see, folks. I think the pawn push is an interesting move. Pawn takes, queen takes, and then I don't see that working. I lose 2 pieces. Pawn push and pawn push. Knight takes, queen takes, rook takes. He has to take. I think that's how it is. So I'm going to push the pawn. No. Check, and then do this fork. Excellent, folks. I think we got 1 more wrong. So we have got 3 right and 6 wrong. Last puzzle. I'll take the opposition. Is that the way to go? If I push this, he takes opposition and I'm losing. I take the opposition, he takes, I take. And I think I still get it. No. Take, and I take the opposition. So I think the theory was right, but I could not get this going. So let us look at the summary of today's thing. I've lost 40 points in puzzles. Can I recover a few points? And I think I'm being a little greedy here, but I think I can. Let's see. Rook takes rook, pretty much forced, or rook takes rook, even queen takes rook. But then I have this check here. Okay. Rook takes rook, queen check. No. Alright folks, let's take a minute here to think on how to go about it. Rook here, threatening mate in 1, and then I get this check in. King has to come there. Okay, I think let's look at an interesting option here. Queen can't take, so rook takes, queen takes. And then I get this. Okay, I think that's the way to go. I didn't think about this, but then I have this. No. Alright folks, let's think about it. I think I got the first move right, and my calculation was completely wrong. I simply get the queen. Why am I even worried about it? Can I recover? Couple of more puzzles and I will be in full recovery of the points lost. I have this check. I have this check here. Rook or queen takes, and then I simply grab this. If queen there. Okay, queen there. Let's calculate it again. Check, queen goes in. Check, rook takes. Rook check, rook goes back. Alright folks, I think yes, I think I figured this out. Queen, rook takes, and then there's a check here. Only way to defend. There are 2 ways to defend. My mistake. two ways to defend, but then I win this bishop as well. And this check here, and I win this bishop. Right. I think better. I don't think so. I think it's better. I just simply take it. Great, folks. I think I have one more puzzle to do. If I get this right, we are material up. Sorry, points up in the puzzle calculations. So pawn takes. Sorry. Bishop takes queen. Bishop takes queen. Bishop takes queen. Bishop takes bishop. Then I have nothing. So I think I start off with bishop, queen takes, rook takes, rook. No, doesn't work. Bishop takes, bishop takes, bishop takes queen, bishop takes bishop. Oh no, I'm losing this rook here. So I start off with this. No. Bishop takes, bishop takes. Bishop takes, rook takes. Then he loses this. So I think let's calculate this. Bishop takes knight. Pawn takes, you lose the bishop, so he has to not take. He can do anything. He has to take the queen. Queen takes, rook takes bishop. Rook takes rook. Takes, rook takes. Still, I think I get this. Alright, I think this is the way it goes. Now rook take queen takes, bishop takes queen. This is the next step. Yes, now is the critical one. Rook takes, and then I hang this. This is hanging, this is hanging. I'll get one of them for sure. So I first take this. Yes, so I'm losing the rook here, so I don't want to do that. Oh shucks. So yeah, I got the sequence. I know I'm -2 again. Rook takes, queen takes. Rook takes, queen takes. Then this king occupies this square. Seems to be easy way out, but doesn't seem to be working. Simply king away, I simply lose this rook, so I think the first move. Interesting. But how does this work? Oh, I give him the queen. Alright folks, I think we have to call it a day on this because I think I'm really having a struggling time. I've lost 35 points. Let's look at the daily game that we play. 10 plus 5. Let's play a game today. So I typically start off 1882 versus 1866. So our standard Queen's Gambit declined structure. Bishop, knight comes out, and bishop comes here attacking this. Knight comes out, and then typical idea. Okay, this is interesting. Not sure why was that played. I'm simply going to capture the pawn if he does this, so I don't understand. I open this up and then open this up, close this up. Typical pawn ideas that I do. But let's see. Let's understand the structure a little better, folks. Yeah, I'm going to open this up, allowing this. Okay, folks. The typical idea is bishop comes to b4. I play a3, bishop into, pawn into, and then I close this situation up and then put my bishop here on d3. I'm not sure if this is the way to go. Alright, I'm going to block the bishop coming here. My queen is protecting this, so there's no issues at all. So I can even close this structure. And yes, simple rook protecting this here. And I think we are good to go. There's no big issue here. I don't see any big troubles. I can even put this knight here now next, attacking this. Rook takes. Yeah, rook is pinned, but I don't think so it's a problem. Interesting. So he would want to. Alright, so let me just remove the pin. completely. And I think we are now good to go, because the idea was to put the knight here, attacking this. Now there's no more pin. In fact, I have this, and I think the queen's out of the game. I think I would have done this as well, and then put the bishop here. I think the early queen move has not worked too well for Stanley Boss, and it's going well for us at this point in time. Let's look at any good ideas that we've got, any brilliant sacrifices. Alright, let me just keep the queen away. I would like the queen sitting here, the rook is protecting the pawn. He just simply goes back. I further consolidate my pawn structure, allowing him to play some of these moves, which I'm okay with. As long as I'm able to recapture the pawns, I'm good. You can capture it, my dear friend. I'm not going to bother much. A simple castle would do. Put the bishop out here, rook out here. I think it's fine. You take the pawn, I take the pawn. As simple as that. Nothing much to worry about. And a simple castle. Alright folks, we've developed. This bishop is in decent diagonal. This bishop is in decent diagonal. The rook is not very well. Its rook is oddly placed. I don't want to put my knight back here, allowing this knight move, but I'm going to simply take it off and put my knight back here. So if knight e4, bishop into e4, d into e4, knight e5. That's the plan. I think I'm going to simply what do I do here? Alright folks, so let's just, I'm not clear the way to progress here. What would be the right squares for my pieces? And I think we're going to invest a minute of time here analyzing the next set of attacks that can happen in this position. One of the options is to put the bishop knight here, kick the knight away, and then me myself open up the king side. Okay, the rook is badly placed, but I don't think so it's a problem. Alright folks, I think I'm going to try this f3 and e5 break, opening the center. A rook can come here, queen can come in here, and I think we are good. Or in fact, bishop can come here, queen can come here. I don't know, seems okay. Bishop is a bad bishop. I don't want to exchange this great knight to this great bad bishop, so this is not going to happen. And he closed the structure. Alright, I'm okay to exchange these fellows out of here. Alright, if the queen does come here, I'm going to take this off and then take this off, so it doesn't work. So you don't really have a opportunity to move the queen. If you really want to spoil your pawn structure, then you be my guest. I'm okay to put my knight bishop along this great diagonal. Queen cannot come right away here because of bishop takes and knight takes. I have this fork also lining up, so it just does not work. Now I need to figure out how to get my rook here. I want to challenge the diagonal. Here I just play it here, that's fine. Now we can play it here, then I play it here. Okay, I want to challenge you there, and let's see how it goes. Alright folks, I thought I'll call it a day, but I'm going to analyze this. So I'm going to do a computer analysis. Okay, it's already done it for me. I have done one big blunder. This is a mistake. Pawn takes. No, that's a mistake again. What could I have done here? Alright, so I'm not sure why that's a mistake. Why is this a mistake? Because of this, which he did not do it. Then takes, and then we are okay. Alright folks, one big mistake, but we won that game, so I'm going to create one more game for the day, and after this we're going to call it a day. Alright folks, one more thing I'm going to do going forward is okay, great, the match started, and finally good news, it's black and it's a strong player. King's Indian defense is our structure. I need to try to attack on the king side, the opponent's going to try to attack on the queen side, and the match continues. Pawn push, I stop this idea, and then I do this here, and I think we're all good to go. Okay, I simply castle. I need to get this break in. Since he's not done this, I can technically play this. I want to play the e5 first. Pawn push, what do I do for a pawn push? I think I did a mistake here. No issues, now I can do this pawn push. Pawn takes, knight takes, bishop takes. I lose a pawn in the process. Alright folks, let's think about it. What am I worried about? I'm worried about d5. So alright folks. Alright, I'm going to take a bio break. I'll just be back. Alright folks, I thought I'll call it a day, but I'm going to analyze this. So I'm going to do a computer analysis. Okay, it's already done it for me. I've done one big blunder. This is a mistake. Pawn takes. No, that's a mistake again. What could I have done here? Alright, so I'm not sure why that's a mistake. Why is this a mistake? Because of this, which he did not do it. Then takes, and then we are okay. Alright folks, one big mistake, but we won that game, so I'm going to create one more game for the day, and after this we're going to call it a day. Alright folks, one more thing I'm going to do going forward is okay, great, the match started, and finally good news, it's black and it's a strong player. King's Indian defense is our structure. I need to try to attack on the king side, the opponent's going to try to attack on the queen side, and the match continues. Pawn push, I stop this idea, and then I do this here, and I think we're all good to go. Okay, I simply castle. I need to get this break in. Since he's not done this, I can technically play this. I want to play the e5 first. Pawn push, what do I do for a pawn push? I think I did a mistake here. No issues, now I can do this pawn push. Pawn takes, knight takes, bishop takes. I lose a pawn in the process. Alright folks, let's think about it. What am I worried about? I'm worried about d5. So alright folks. Alright, I'm going to take a bio break. I'll just be back. Alright. Alright folks, so I lost a couple of minutes to the bio break, but now I'm still concerned about this pawn push. I'm not clear on this push. I'm losing a pawn. Right folks, I'm out of prep here. Right, I'm going to play this here and then do this break. Okay, let's try that. Not sure if it's a good idea. I'm trying both these breaks. I'm now going to get the break in. I also have this break in. I know what's happening here. I'm out of prep. Alright folks, let's see. I can get this break in. If I get this break in, then I get this knight back. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get this break in as well. So overall, I'm just trying to create some pawn breaks. You simply take it and then play it here. Let's see, folks. I'm not sure it's a great idea. Did I have a better move? I have this check. Queen takes. I'm not clear, folks, what's happening here. I think I'm out of this opening prep and I'm out of it quite early. Okay. Alright. Idea being this under threat. Yes, this knight takes. I think I'm fine. Alright, folks, let's see what's happening. I think we are fine here. Knight here, bishop takes, and then the knight opens up. I think we are okay. I don't think so. His pawns are that very well coordinated, and I think we are okay. Alright. Okay, queen is not a great defender of this file, and I think I have this here. Okay, folks, my idea is clear. This pawn push and then this here. So knight here and the pawn push. I think that's the way to go. Knight here, pawn push. Okay, knight here, bishop comes here, pawn push. Then there's this knight trapped. I think so. Yeah, it's not a great position for the knight. Knight here. I think this is one of the possibilities. Knight here. Possible knight here. Okay, knight here seems equally interesting. I have this fork as well. Okay, yes, my idea is knight here. So the way to stop that idea is this pawn push. Alright, folks, let's see how that goes. Knight here. As I said, I'm very much out of prep. I think King's Indian defense, as I had rightly predicted. That's the way to go. Let's calculate this. Knight here, bishop push, pawn double. Knight's trapped. I take this. He takes this. I take this. There's no checks or something, so my idea. Great. I'm simply going to take this off. And now, what is he attacking? Not very clear. How do you defend the pawn? Not very clear. I'm going to play this here. It's a double purpose move, attacking this pawn, preparing this rook double, attacking this base sequence. I think that's a better idea. Still not clear. What's he working it out towards? Am I not a pawn up? Yes, I am. Okay, I'm going to get the other bishop. I think we are perfectly okay in this position. Okay. Let me get the king out of this diagonal, allowing me to capture this, allowing me to do a couple of other things. Let's see. I'm going to put the rook here and trying to put pressure on this. An easy way to defend. I think I'm simply a pawn up. No time, pawn push. I just come back here. Works. The problem is this pawn is lost, but the problem here is this allows me to play a discover check. I think this discover check works better. Completely losing. Then I'm gonna simply come back here. Rook in the 7th rank. I do not mind exchanges. What has he got? He's threatening this. I'm going to defend. Defend. See folks, I'm still a pawn up. What do I got in this position? I think I'm in a better position than what I think I am in. I have this protected. Doesn't have great. Here, forcing him to do some sort of stuff. All right. All right, folks. I think now it's time for me to think a little bit deeper on how I would want to take this up. I don't want to move this guy. I want to move this guy here and then do this. I have double pawns. Bit confused on how to handle the situation. Okay, folks, we have 4 minutes on the clock. Not much time. Check is not working. I'm not able to take this. Let me put pressure on this. I lose this. I lose this. I'm going to protect this and then take this, then get back. Let's see. Let us see, folks. These two are passes. He has these two passes. This is a pain. I would want to exchange that off first. Then I'll go back to my original idea, doubling along this file. His idea, of course, would be to push those forward. I don't want to occupy this. I don't want him to get to occupy that. Rook here, rook here, rook f1, rook f6, rook into, king into. Okay, he's allowed me occupancy of that file. I'm going to take it on push. Let me take a minute, folks, here. Pawn takes, rook takes, queen here, threatening check, threatening that there. He has this check here. Alright, folks, so my idea is simple. I'm going to first defend this space pawn. Queen takes, rook takes. I have this check here. Trying to threaten this. Okay. I'm not liking the way things things are going. White has a lot of activity, and my queen is somehow not in a great good position, which I don't like. Alright, let me go defensive. I have gone too defensive, I feel, but okay, no issues. Let's continue. Pawn takes, queen takes, and I'm threatening this. Yeah, let's see how that goes. Queen here, rook comes back, defends it. Now I have this idea here, attacking this. Let's see. In fact, I can take the pawn now. Pawn takes, queen takes. Pawn takes, queen takes, queen takes, pawn takes, queen takes. Should be cool. Do I mind the exchange? I'm a pawn up. I have this passes, he has this passes on the other side, and let's see. He wouldn't want to exchange. Then I have this check. I have this check, and then I have the other rook coming in. Doesn't have a check, so let's try. Queen comes here. Rook takes, queen takes, check, queen takes, pawn takes. So I think we are fine. Okay, I'm really short on time. Queen takes, check. It's a double check. In fact, it's a mate. No. Queen takes, rook takes, queen here, pawn takes, king takes. I think we're winning here. Let's calculate it again. Rook takes, check. Yes, he resigned. I think it's a very good calculation that we did there. Good news, we've improved our rating a bit. But yes, I would want to learn from my mistakes. I've done one mistake and one blunder, two mistakes and two blunders. Opponent did more blunders, so that's the reason we won. Yes, I was very bad out of the right out of the opening. I wasn't clear what to do. Thought of breaking. I think this is the break. No, that's a big blunder. Not sure how do we proceed here. I think I simply had this pawn. No, knight takes pawn. Yes, I had a free pawn which I missed, and then we are completely winning. Free pawn missed. The third mistake is here. Again, I think it's a simple free pawn. No, it's a big blunder. It's okay, knight g2 plus. That's the right move here. I was just thinking the other one. As soon as I finished that, I thought I can do knight g2 plus, king d2, and then I take this pawn. That does not make any sense. Oh, okay, because of this, then I have this check. Bishop in the middle, I have this check. Knight in the middle, I have this check. Oh, the knight comes in. Oh, it was a crazily great position which I missed. Here I had a great move which I have missed. I was completely winning. I got into a drawn position. I knew I had tactics, but I wasn't clear how. I think this was the move. But the best move is h5. Not sure. Okay, he plays this. Okay. Then I try to create some activity. Goes back. Take. Queen takes. So my idea was there, but it was not executed in the wrong timing. Alright folks, great day. I think we've done a good amount of job for an hour. Just to summarize the situation, we've gotten 50 more points on the rapid, 2 good rapid wins. I played some blitz in the morning, but that I'm not going to work out. But puzzles, we've lost a lot of puzzle points, but I think overall it's a great day. What did we learn? Let's first quickly summarize the things we learned from our games. Game 2, crazy game. One thing is we have to be very, very precise. Luckily we got some opportunities and we won. First one was all about positional. We got a good activity, and I think what I learned today specifically is the opening prep. I think what I want to do now, let's quickly do this. Here we go to analysis board, and I want to look at some of the book games. How should I have approached this? The most common move here for black is d5, which I did not play. I played the King's Indian defense, and here I played the most popular move, d6, which is the most popular move. He played this, but the most popular move here was bishop g7. I played that, which was fine. Now here the only possible move was castle, which I have done. And here the best possible move is c5. I had to take the c5 break. What if he played this? He takes, I take, bishop goes back, knight comes in, so it's a crazy position. But yeah, what is the ideal move for a c5 break? The opponent plays, sorry, I played this, but the best move in this position for black is c5 or c6. So I played knight c6, which was not an accurate move. I can simply take this. Very, very interesting. No games have been found. So the opponent's move is not very common. So for which I played knight out. And as we know that I missed a few free pawns. I think I'm not looking at it very carefully. But then the overextended situation, and then I was able to somehow got into winning position, folks. I think I need to work on my King's Indian defense, and tomorrow what I'm going to do, I'm going to spend some amount of time in the beginning revising my King's Indian defense. We're going to create an opening file on Chessbase for my King's Indian defense. Alright, that's going to be my morning prep before, and tomorrow I have a tournament, folks, so please give me all the best for the tournament. Thank you.